Okay guys, welcome. Still waiting on the first message other than myself in the chat. If anyone is out there, as always guys, say g'day. Help your man out. And we can get started with the stream and have a look at the analysis moving forward today. Otherwise guys, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where you are around the world. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another London session. We'll see what we can come up with moving forward. The good news is it looks like some of that volatility has finally died off a little bit, so it means that stop losses are going to be 50-60 pips off a 15-minute candle, which makes it a little bit easier for us to probably get involved in trades. But nonetheless, obviously been a big sell-off on gold off the back of the news to come out of the election. So it is official. Trump is obviously now been officially named the new president of the US. So there you go. Let's moving forward. So big day for the pound. We've got the official bank rate, Bank of England monetary policy statement, and the forecast is for the bank rate to be cut by 25 basis points. So I mean, it may be priced in already, but I mean, based off that could be potential for a little bit of a sell-off in the pound. To be honest, I don't think it'll have much of an effect on it. It may affect it momentarily at the release of the news, but I'm pretty sure either way it will correct quite quickly. It's probably more got to do with the rhetoric from the speech that is will likely follow. But to be honest, I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact. But still need to be wary because the spreads and all that will widen, so you've got to be very wary of that. So anyway guys, without further ado, let's have a look at the charts, and as always starting with GJ, I'll have a look at gold and GCAD. If anyone has any questions or any charts you would like to send in, please do not hesitate to do so, and I will happily look at any pairs that you guys want me to look at. Just type in the chat and I'll get to that shortly. So without further ado guys, let's have a look at GJ, and what we can see is this current weekly candle. As I mentioned at the start of the week, based off that previous weekly candle, kind of like a pause in price action, almost a doji candle. If we are to break either side of it, that's where we're likely to trend. I mean, it's gotten this far into the week without breaking. We are approaching the high of that previous candle, and I feel if we did break it, there is a good chance it could make a fairly clean impulse. Doesn't mean it's going to make the move all the way up to 207, 205, 206 by the end of trading this week, but it could pop above that 200 level. I think it's a realistic level for it to start to pop above. Onto the daily. So a strong bullish and a weekly. Daily structure is also technically bullish. Also got counter probabilities to the upside. Now, seeing with the volume of that previous candle is a very strong candle, if we begin to break last week's high once again, there's a good chance that price would make another impulse to the upside. So off the back of that, I'm sure we're going to be looking for buys above that previous weekly candle's high. Having said that, let's mark in the 50% of that previous candle, and let's just see if it does line up with any level of previous support or resistance where we could potentially still pull back to within a current daily candle, and look for a price to form support above that level to suggest that maybe the buyers are still present in the market, and we could head back up towards the high and eventually break through last week's candle's high. So we could just to grab liquidity, that is a potential level. It's around at 198.40. Now we're also going to mark in the current daily candles low, and we're going to see if there is any sort of catalyst to look for a sell. Seeing we are at that resistance, we did reject and break our own low, may suggest we'll just grab some liquidity from the upside and could maybe continue a little bit further down. So bullish in structure, 4 hour, so we can see pretty solid level over here to the left hand side. Very choppy price action on the 4 hour. That 50% of the previous daily candle lines up with some support, so we can now remove that. We know it lines up with the level on the 4 hour time frame, so it's a realistic level that price could pull back to look for support to form, and then look for potential options to buy it to the upside. We're gonna mark in the highs. Excuse me, just polishing. Well, obviously got a little bit of resistance just below it. not likely going to be looking to buy it into the 4-hour resistance, so I'm just going to mark in the highest point of the resistance, and I'll use this level around at 199.60 to 199.80. Let's go down to the 30 minutes. So we know we're technically now bearish on the 4-hour time frame, and we won't flip back bullish until we close above, and we are up at that resistance, and we are exhausting. There is no real momentum at the resistance, so we need really a bit of a catalyst at this point, it looks like, if we were to look for buys above the high. Now on the M30 time frame, you can see structure wise we are technically bullish, and we will remain bullish until we start to close below this 4-hour support. So that is one level I'd be potentially looking for sells. Once I got the catalyst and the confirmation of the 30-minute structure flipping back bearish, there could be options to sell it. Now I'm just going to need to zone up a little bit. Let's see to the upside. Can we adjust this at all? Not really. No, I'm going to leave it as is. Down to the downside, support, minus support we've got formed at this point here. Let's just look at 15. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. We've got some support just here, but in all honesty, it's just a choppy mess. I'm not likely going to get involved in a sell prior to price popping below 198.767. So sells below that point there. The support formed on the way up. If we did begin to pop below it, and there's a high probability of clean traffic to the left, we're also popping below some previous resistance here to the left. There's a high probability that price could come back down to that 4-hour support around that 198.30 sort of level. So just consolidating at the moment, very little direction, or yeah, very little direction with the price action, making it a little bit difficult. Now if we did pop down and bounce off this support, seeing structure is still technically bullish and it's still bullish lower down, we could also look for buys. So the buys are going to be valid in line with the strength of the current weekly, in line with the structure on the 30-minute time frame. So we know that the current weekly is forming a strong bullish candle, so it still could pull back within its own candle to previous levels of support, and we can look for potential buys. Further options, guys, if price did reject that 4-hour resistance, then obviously I'm going to be looking for my sells. So that is JJ, guys. Just give me one moment, guys. I got a call, just one moment. Sorry guys, I had to answer that. All right, so sells below the 4-hour resistance, if we did tap into it, it would make sense because it is a strong level to the left hand side. If we did reject it, once again, I'd just be looking for price action signals for a potential sell back down. So what would be nice if it made a clean move up to cut through some of these wicks to the left, and then we're playing in cleaner candles within this range. So if it did something like so, only to reject, and I can look for my signals for a potential sell option. So now it's JJ, guys. Once again, hopefully it made sense. Right now it's just consolidating, and let's have a look at the beast that is gold. So massive sell off the back of the news coming out of the election, but to be honest, I think it still could be short-lived. To be honest, I've just as far as some of the rhetoric I've heard coming out of US since Trump has been re-elected, that he wants to make sure interest rates are going to be cut, and cut quite fast. So that would signal maybe potential weakness in the US dollar. So therefore, money could go back into gold. So based off that, based off the fact that he may stimulate the economy, inject more cash into the economy, which would once again increase inflation. So if that is the case, I don't know how they're going to cut rates. Then based off that, I think gold would get another leg up, to be honest. So we'll see. Anyway, we'll do the analysis, and what we can see in a weekly, very strong bearish candle. So once again, based off that, what I'm looking for are levels within this candle that we could potentially pull back to, and look for price to either reject for a continuation sells, or pop above the resistance and form a support above it for potential options to buy it back up to the next level. Daily time frame. Some might be calling it bearish right now. I'm still calling it bullish. To me, this is just the pause. There's no 2 or more consecutive candle pullback in the opposite direction to the trend. We've got bearish, bullish, bearish. So need 2 bearish candles in a row. Don't have that yet. So therefore, still calling it bullish on the daily. But obviously, we've got counter probabilities to the downside. Once again, let's mark in the 50 and just see if it does line up with any particular level on a potential pullback. Now, bullish on the daily, bearish weekly. 4 hours definitely flip bearish. So we can see that level pretty much lines up with a previous level of support. So we can mark that in and just remove that zone for that horizontal for the time being. Actually, we'd be looking for sells below it, but we're likely gonna just remove it either way. So now to the downside. Currently, we've tapped into what looks to be a pretty solid level of support as well to the downside on gold here, around that 2640, just above 2640. And seeing we are consolidating from it, this would suggest that right now within price action we may be grabbing some liquidity in order for price to, if it was to bounce off this level, make a deeper correction where we could pull back towards that most recent support we have broken on the 4-hour time frame. So let's see what we got in the 30-minute. Also got a bit of resistance here. We'll mark that in. All right, so on the M30, what we can see is we are technically bearish, and we will remain bearish so long as we really remain below this actual resistance, but I would not be buying it above that level. For me, at this rate, the cleaner buys will come above 2668.4 roughly. At that point there, not only would we have broken structure, flip structure back bullish, we also be would have broken a resistance, the 4-hour resistance, and to the left we have a pretty nice clean candle where we could look for a buy to take it back up to retest that 2675 sort of region, where we could potentially look for sells upon a rejection or buys above it if it does begin to close above it. Pretty simple. Got some clean traffic, which is really good. That's the good thing about these nice big impulsive moves. It opens up the ranges to more probable entries moving forward. Obviously I'll be looking for the sells below. Now you could just drag that down, and I would say if we did reject that zone around that 26, 64, 65, 66 level, I'd be looking for also a signal within price action for a sell. Let me quickly look at it at 15. All right, it's just going to see if we got any options just now. Yeah, it's going to be tough because I'm running out of room, to be honest. Yeah, I think we need to wait and see how price reacts to 26.64. I would also consider go back to the 15. Got some support here. Let's see where we're at. Perhaps London Open, if we come back down to the most recent support, could be some options to take a sell below it around at 26.54 sort of level. But otherwise, buys from down at the 4-hour support as well, guys. So let's see if I can just neaten this up at all. I mean, I'll just attach it to the most recent support. We know it's a much deeper zone though. All right, so today's gold. Yeah, well, that's what we're waiting for at the moment. Hopefully that makes sense. And let's quickly look at GCAD. Once again, I won't spend too much time on it. But so this is a chart just sent into the members group. I've marked this with an X because to me it's just a mess below that point. There is really no margin to look for any sell options, so I'd just be waiting for price to pop back up to 179,670 for either a sell to upon rejection. I mean, it's just made a nice move. Not even 10 pips though. It looks a lot bigger. A pretty strong catalyst to take it back down to the support, and it's currently bouncing otherwise buys above the resistance. The bias is still remains the exact same as as early in the week, so we are bearish. Nothing has changed in regards to that, but we'll keep a little bit of an eye on it. Meantime, guys, who we got here today? Dace, good morning to you. George Sinney, hope you're keeping well. Yep, close. I get called Jason all the time, but it's close enough. Appreciate you being here. Beats, good morning. Steve, as always, good morning to you. Franco, as always. Marvy, g'day, mate. And members, I will send you guys the link just now. There's the link. Let's quickly have a look at some of the members' analysis. So this is from Phil. EU, looking for a pullback to sell. Yep, or sells below support. Very clean chart. And Mr. Phil and Franco are two very good traders because they just follow their plan. They don't deviate for anything in between. They just follow the plan. They send in their charts. They send in the afterwards as well if they take the trade. So this is GU looking for sells below support. Yep, that looks pretty good. Lines up with some resistance here to the left. I'd consider potential buys above the resistance. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Looks like something I've been looking at. Pretty much the same sort of analysis. Let's quickly look at GU. I'm assuming Phil could be in a buy too. He did send in analysis on GU for a buy above that point. There you go. Yeah, so I'm sure he'd be in a trade right now. Best way to improve, guys, is to hold yourself accountable. Post analysis prior to any entry, and then post the after. In all honesty, that's exactly what worked for me. By the way, I haven't touched this chart since yesterday. It's basically you don't really need to. So yeah, buys on GU looking pretty good. So once again, it's a big day for the pound, guys. The official cash rate statement. To be honest, I mentioned it before, it's a bit of a race to the bottom when it comes to majors. So I think it doesn't really have as much of an effect anymore when interest rates, the decisions come out of most of the major economies. Other than US, obviously US has a lot of weight behind it. That is basically the main one that will shift things. Otherwise, I mean, like I mentioned before, would not surprise me if the results come out. GU maybe tumbles a little bit at the release if it is as per the forecast, only for it to end up pretty much back where it started at some point. Would not surprise me if that was to happen on gold as well. It could happen very shortly. It could happen off the back of tomorrow with FOMC. So again, also with the US releasing their figures. Also expected to be a rate cut of 25 basis points. Once again, is it priced in though? So it'll be more to do with the statement that is released after, well, right, basically at the same time they release the data. It's been a quiet week, very quiet week. Not sure how everyone else has gone. Let's have a look at this on the 15. Is there clean traffic below it? To the left there is. All right, so could be options to sell gold below this wick, which lines up with 15-minute support to the left. Seeing we have obviously bounced off this support, pulled back. If we were to approach the lows yet again and begin to close below that point, yes, we are into that 4-hour zone, but it is very clean when you're looking at it on the 15-minute time frame and M30. So closures below 26.46.12, I would definitely entertain some sell options as well. So we'll see how it goes. Luke, good day to you. Good afternoon. Hopefully some good trades. Yeah. Also, Bitcoin obviously went on to make a new all-time high. So this is pretty good. I believe it's going to continue, to be honest. I also believe that NAS that's also made a new all-time high as well. That was a chart from yesterday. Now, I think this thing could continue well to into the upside. However, I think the bubble's got to burst at some point. Yeah, I really think this will come back down to earth pretty hard at some point. When? Who knows? But with maybe the exuberance of the re-election of Trump, it might not be anytime soon. But yeah, I'm still hesitant to get involved in equities, to be honest.
Hey, good morning.
Franco, good morning to you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, better. So
that's good.
Unfortunately, I was a little bit absent the last days. I had some problems with my finger. I need to take antibiotics.
Yeah.
So, but hope now it's getting better.
Good to hear. That's the main thing.
Thank you. What about you?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, just been busy. Very busy the next few weeks with my brother away. Okay. So, but otherwise all good, mate. Can't complain.
No trades yesterday?
So no trades? No. I took a trade pre-NY on GJ. I called it in the group, but I went to break even about 7.5 pips in, and it literally just took me out and then it dropped again. So I know one or two people took a win. Their stop loss didn't get triggered at break even. So that was good to see. But that was where was it? Yesterday, just here.
Okay.
Rejecting a 4-hour resistance. Strong closure on the M30. Closed the hourly strong as well. Yeah, but it was a lot of volume. It was popping up, down, up, down. And I thought, wow, this could reverse.
It was very hard to take trades yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. A lot of stuff going on, so obviously wasn't a bad day to miss it.
Do you think the market will be slower today, or
possibly? But that is more probably to do with what's to come with the FOMC. So all eyes will now turn to the Fed to see what happens when the data is released. So that's today, isn't it? Sorry, I get confused because of the time difference right now.
Yeah, no, it is. It's tomorrow. It's today.
Yeah, it is today. That's 6 a.m. my time, so that's in the evening for you guys in Europe, and late afternoon in America.
Yeah, and today we have also
the pound. Yeah, so it could be a little bit slower until then, but I mean, we've got plenty of time until then, so we can still look for some trades.
Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Hey, good morning.
How are you, mate? What? Are you
I'm doing all right. Hi, Franco. How have you been?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, better, thank you. And you?
I'm doing all right.
That's good to hear.
That's one, bro.
Doing all right. Thank you.
Are you in GU right now, or
Yeah, I am in already.
good work? Nice one. Just mentioned before you hopped on your analysis, and I said you're probably in a trade right now, which is good. You always follow your analysis, so I was saying both you and Franco are very good with that. You're sending a chart, and you generally will follow it pretty much every single time, unless you accidentally miss it because you're busy or something.
Let's see how that plays out.
Looking good though, looking very good. Jellyfish, welcome. Good morning to all the Magic Tuesday. GJ, all right, so GJ is making a bit of a move now. Let's just see where his counter closes. And better for us if it makes a clean move down to this support 198.80. Let's see how he reacts to it. Now the other option is, it's not going to be as probable though. This candle flips and closes back a weak bullish candle. That means it's going to leave a long lower wick, which is kind of the opposite to what I want to see, to be honest. I prefer it when it leaves a long upper wick, because what that would suggest to me, if we had a candle closing like so, that would suggest that within this upper wick, what we have likely have done is grab some more liquidity from this previous level of support here to the left. And if the next candle, the following candle, was to begin to break the low of the previous, then there would be a high probability at that point there, with the clean trap to the left, that price would move down to the 4-hour support, the 30-minute support, sorry. So anyway, we'll just see. All right, I've got a few things that I will be definitely testing out over the Christmas period when that does come. The members who are with me will be testing it with me. I'll be testing on live charts and on back testing software. I've got a few ideas, also based off the 5-minute, which could lead to more entries, but I want them to be quality entries. I'm not just going to start trading off the 5-minute for the sake of it. I want to have the data set to prove to me that it is quality and not just, you know, quantity. But that's what I did last holiday period, and that's how I come up with that very impulsive entry and price taps into a 4-hour zone. And to be honest, this year it's been fantastic. It really has been. It hasn't given me the opportunity all that often, but from memory I've only lost once on stream trading it, and every other one's been a win. All right, gold. So no low wick on that candle. Nice closure. I still would not have taken it without low wick. No chance. Well, let me go back to flyer. All right. Today is technically the 50% in the 4-hour zone. The 4-hour zone really is that level. From that candle open to the close. And that is 50%. So the impulse sells could still be valid, guys. What I just mentioned only moments ago. What would need to eventuate for that to be valid is this candle, well, not this candle, the following candle. Even this candle, to be honest, if it did pop up. But the preference would be for the following candle to pop straight up without a lower wick. And I just mark it execute to sell that point there. With the stop loss above the resistance, it's an entry that's worked very, very well for me all year. And again, it's just based off levels more so than anything else. There's very little confirmation in terms of price action. It's just literally price tapping into a level that I've noticed in the past that price tends to react to. So it's a 4-hour zone, it has to be a 4-hour zone. What I do is I mark in the fib 50% from top to bottom, from the open, sorry, to the high. You could maybe just adjust it a tiny bit. That's the entry point. Stop loss is above the resistance. But again, I'm not sending any order. I'm just waiting to see. For me, I wait to see how the candles open. I want it to open without a lower wick. Just give me one moment, guys. I'll be back very quickly. Alright, guys, I'm back. So GJ is bouncing off, well, potentially back above this support here to the left on the 15. A lot of strength in this M30 on gold. A lot of strength right now. Heaps of volume. Yeah, it looks like it could even potentially start to pop above this resistance. So it's gonna wait and see how this candle closes. So that would have been a level, but it's obviously pushing right through it now. So get that. All right. If it closes above, I'm going to wait for the next candle to create slow wick. And then I will judge if I can get a decent stop loss. What I want to see is a closure above, price to tap in, obviously, and reject and begin to bounce off this resistance. Now, one thing we've got to consider is come from quite a distance, and this candle itself has a lot of volume. It's already got over 100 pips. But as we know, gold, especially right now, has been moving with enormous volume. So I think it definitely can make the move straight up without needing much of a correction. Look at that. There's the 50 zone, guys. You'd be at 10 pips already. Dude, probably going to about 4 pip drawdown. And what I found with this particular level on the 4 hour doesn't necessarily mean the candle's going to reject and end up well back in the range below. But often what I found is it'll give you enough to get 10, 15 pips on the table, 20 pips. And then sometimes it's going to close back above, sometimes it's going to close back below. So it's just interesting to see it. It's playing out again right now. I don't have the margin on GJ. Alright, the focus is gold, guys. We're going to keep an eye on gold. Alright, in order for there to be a strong buy confirmation, we really want this to close right up here as high. I want it to close back below the resistance. So what we may have just done is just swept some liquidity from the resistance around the Asian session highs. And if we do reject, tap into the level of liquidity to the left hand side here. If we do reject, there's a good chance it will come back down. So I'm still going to see, I still may consider a very impulsive sell if the new candle opens up without a low wick and just pop straight up towards the high of this candle. And I may just market execute a sell. It doesn't matter anyways. Right, it's low wick already, so forget that. Alright, so we closed back below the resistance. We closed above a minor resistance, but we're below the 4 hour, so nothing right now on gold. GJ is closed. Weak bullish, we've broken high of that candle, and there is no margin to the downside. Just gonna need to wait a little bit on GJ. GU slowly making its way up. AU, wow. Anyone currently in any trades other than Mr. Phil, who knows is in a GU buy? Anyone else?
No, I'm not in a trade right now.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm waiting for GU to come down and maybe take a sell.
Yep, fair enough.
Yeah, actually on the GU also I have moved my stops to break even.
Yep.
Because I'm a little bit worried about there is a certain area to the left.
Over here?
Yeah. On the alley, it is very, very pronounced, so I'm a little bit worried about
Oh, okay, yeah.
It might just bounce off that, so I just moved the stops to break even.
Yeah, fair enough.
If it gets up to the TPs, then it's good. If it rejects, at least I don't lose anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's fair enough.
I actually had like 9 pips to the table before moving the stops. So
Yep.
let's see.
Yeah, it breaks the previous candle's high. It's starting to pop above some of this to the left as well. So
Yeah, this rejection on the left side is corresponding with the daily. If you mark on the daily the Fibonacci, the 50% Fibonacci.
okay, yeah.
It's in line with this resistance there.
Yeah, we're right on it.
Yeah.
Yep, fair enough. So interesting level. We'll see what happens if price does reject or pop above it, pull back and form a support above it. That could be a good sign that the rest of the day could trend to the upside.
Though I do use Fibonacci slightly differently.
Yeah.
The way you use it, because for me, like, I usually prefer the 0.6 level.
Yep. 0.618.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I kind of use it as a signal somehow. If like the market reaches the 0.6 level and rejects with momentum, I use that as a signal.
Yep. Then what do you look for? A candle confirmation, or you just execute?
What I usually look for is when it breaches the 0.6 level, and with a one candle push, it closes back below or above the 0.5 level.
Okay. And then you'll look the entry. Yep,
Yeah,
that's fair enough.
Most of the time, that candle is going to be an engulfing candle.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
In that way, if that candle is an engulfing candle, then that is like a confirmation for me. I take it.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair enough. Everyone uses, some of these more fibs and everything differently, other indicators. So yeah, just wanted to mention again, guys, look where it's rejected. So thank you for the sub. You can't make this shit up, guys. And again, it took me a lot of testing to realize this. But what I tested out was with candles that had no wick in the opposite direction prior to tapping into that level. So once again, it's rejecting around the 50% of the 4-hour zone. That is the 4-hour zone. That's the candle that forms resistance. That's how I tested it out. And last summer, summer my time, summer holidays, last Christmas, New Year's. And that's what you really need to do if you want to start implementing a particular edge that you don't use or you've not used before. Do some testing on it. How I came about that is just watching price react to a 4-hour level. Constantly I see price tap into a 4-hour level and rejects. So it's like, does it reject straight at when it taps in, over in, or if it breaks then pulls back? What I found the majority of the time, when it's about 20 to 30 pip zone, it generally taps into around the 50%, and that's when it might reject. Doesn't mean, once again, like I mentioned before, that it's going to end up making a deep correction, and the candle could actually close back above. But in the meantime, it often will reject to the point where you can get to break even, maybe secure some profit, and then if it is to reject further and continue, then you could get hold of some really nice runners as well. So always good to see. Next thing I have to test out is whether it's as probable with candles that have wicks prior to tapping into that level in the opposite direction.
So GU is rejecting on this area right now.
GU?
Yeah.
Yep,
So
fair enough.
pretty good. So I mean pretty good. I mean from a structure wise, I mean pretty good.
Yep. Sorry guys, start fixing something. Alright, so let's see if we get the closures above or if we reject. We're at a level that we could get involved in options on gold, whether it be to the upside, if we close above the resistance, or very close to above it, maybe impulse entry, or if we do reject, there could be options to the downside. So we're keeping an eye on that. Alright, the 15-minute rejects, the 5-minute close below support. May take a small entry based off that. Based off the rejection of this zone, we tapped into it twice and rejected it now. tapped into the 50% of that 4-hour zone twice. So I want it candle to close below this point here. I'm going to look to take a small entry based off that. I have to wait 4 minutes. So that's what I could be looking at shortly. Got 2 rejections in that area. Yes, it's quite risky because we don't yet have a real confirmation of resistance forming. We've only got 5-minute support. But if we close below it, I'm going to trust it and I'm going to accept the risk on a smaller entry.
Okay, so my position has now been taken out.
Yep.
At break even.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough, to be honest.
Yep.
Yep, could well be rejecting the support here to the left.
Yeah, actually, usually when I take trades that are against the momentum of the market like that, I'm very cautious with them. So.
Yeah.
Did you take some profits, Mr. Phil?
Nah, I didn't, because it was a very small position.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't. I just moved it to break even. If it goes, it goes. If it stops me out, I lose nothing. So.
Understood.
Alright, so the low on IC markets is 98, so I'd be potentially looking at an entry if this candle closes below about 1.5 to 2 pips below the lowest point of this M5 at the moment. So you're just going to need to track the low of this 5-minute candle now. Don't want it to completely melt now in the next 2 minutes. Just in case it does, maybe you possibly reject this previous consolidation to the left. We've got one minute to wait, and we could have the confirmation of 15 also closing bearish. Would be nice if we close right near our low, below some of this resistance to the left hand side here. Either way, the entry will be below it, but I want the closure on a 5-minute below the support. That's what I want to see. If it doesn't, what I'm likely going to do is just wait for London Open and see where we're at, and then look for a 30-minute candle to close back bearish and look at my options based on that. So last few seconds, guys, has to close below that horizontal. No, oh Jesus, right on it. $2.9. Oh. Need an upper wick either way on the 15. 15 creates an upper wick. I'm going to set a sell stop. I'll set it at 2663.65, but the 15 needs to pull back to create a bit of an upper wick. Got an upper wick. Got a pending order. 6.5 is my pending order. Plus above 15. And I've just been triggered. If I didn't get slipped. Oh. So 6.5 is the entry, guys. Let's see. Once again, I've gone a very small risk because this is slightly more impulsive. Using the 5-minute and the 15-minute. Going down on time frames. So usually it's the 30-minute and then the 15, and using the 5 as confluence. So I've bypassed the 30 at this point. Which isn't, you know, what I normally do. So again, I've gone smaller risk. As far as trade management, if this candle flips bullish, you could probably cut half. I'm probably going to leave it open. There's a bit of volume right now. So my issue is if this candle doesn't make a bit of a move and close near its low, the new candle's likely going to open up and create an upper wick. That's at that point there, we tap into resistance again, and you'd be in a fair bit of drawdown at that point. Once again, the option is, if you would like, you could cut half if it's about to flip. Personally, I've got a very small position, so you could be cutting half if you like. Just testing this out a little bit, this entry. I'm happy just to leave it open for the time being. GJ slowly, no real direction on GJ at the moment. It's a bit of a trickle. Yeah, GCAD still in the same range. All right, let's see. It looks like it could retest this resistance again. The other way to manage it is if the 30 closes bullish as well, we could again consider cutting half, but once again I'm just leaving it open for the time being. YouTube very quiet today. Go gold, let's see. All right, coming down to last 5 minutes before London Open, so really need this thing to close near its low. Crow, yes, mate, I'm in gold. It's just more, pretty much a break even right now. Bro, I'd probably wait, to be honest, for counts close and wait for London Open counts crane upwards. So I entered this trade in anticipation I would be likely, if it was to be a winning trade, at TP1 prior to London Open, which doesn't look like it may still be the case, but doesn't look like it will be unless it drops in the next 3 minutes. So I personally wait for this counter to close and then wait for new counts crane up a wick, and then enter if it breaks the low of the catalyst candle. Here we go. All right, it's 7 pips on the table. There we go, there we go. Getting to break even. And 9 pips on the table. Yeah, I'm out. So close. Alright, so I'm out of that one. It's been the story of my week. Yeah, I went to break even. So, because what I'd rather do is now wait for the new counts grades up a wick, and then there could be further entries below the low of this candle. So, had nine pips on the table. Not quite enough to secure. Sat through a fair bit of drawdown. Just trying something a little bit different based on 15 and 5 minute. What I want to see now is London Open create a decent upper wick. I don't have much of a catalyst on the 15, as in, first of all, we don't have a 30-minute candle catalyst itself. We've got a candle closing bearish, which is what we want, but what I mean by we don't have much of a catalyst is it's not engulfing, it's not strong bearish lower high lower low, and within it we don't have a 15-minute minus support that we could be breaking at the open. So it'd be based mainly on the actual rejection of the 4-hour zone, the 30-minute closure, but it will all depend on how the new candle opens up, if there is to be another shot at it. So what I'd really like to see is this candle drop a bit right now. I don't want it to pull back. Leo, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well. Leo and GJ. Oh, GJ engulfing. GJ's not all that bad as well. Yeah, gold, I want to see it pull back to create a little bit more of an upper wick, and then if it broke its own low again, there could be entries. So that's what we want to see on gold. Spreads are a little bit wider today as well. Alright, it's potential entries, re-entries in gold, 2662.35. Now, once again, I'm just lowering the lot sizes, guys, because the spreads are wider. It's still got a fair bit of volume. Stop loss is quite wide as well, based off a technical level, being the M30. So I'd rather just go wider stop loss, smaller entry. BJ also looked pretty good. We just don't have much margin on it. So it's based off this candle dropping, popping back up to create an upper wick, and if it breaks zone low again, rejecting this the 4-hour resistance, also popping below the resistance here to the left. Then if we break around low again, I think there's a high probability, good chance we'll make the move this time. So that's what it's based off. So the first attempt was break even. This one has more confluences, higher probability than the first entry. So we'll soon see. So the low on IC markets is just a tad, is a pip lower than this actual candle itself. It's IC. It is. So not in yet, guys, not been triggered in. Luke kept trade open, was very small lot size, still in the first entry. Okay. Yeah, you probably would have had close to 10. We probably should have had more than 10. George, all good, mate, all good. It's not a problem. Honest guys, I could trade so easily, trade naked charts. This chart looks very different to this one. Wow, it looks very different. Anyway, we're in. There we go, 5 pips on the table. Drop a little bit more. Now once again, if this count breaks its own high, we'll consider cutting. That's a pretty quick drop, and now it's popped straight back up, so doesn't need to keep pulling back if it wants to continue bearish. Once again, it's up to you guys. I'm going smaller lot sizes at the moment. So I've got full position open. All right. Up a little bit more. Still quite a lot of volume. The volatility still seems to be there. Marby was in GJ 6.5 pips taking up break even. Fair enough, mate. And it's that uncertainty of London Open. So, bit like on gold right now. Once again, had just over 5 pips on the table and it popping back up. So, close mine, should have taken the 10 pips earlier before his profit. Probably should have closed earlier. Fair enough, mate. If you're not feeling comfortable in it, then got to start managing it. All right, let's go. Come on. It's going to be the move just now. Once again, add 5, just over 5. Once again, it's rejecting. Yeah, this is tough, guys. It's just not going our way at the moment. This week's been a really, really tough one for me. Once again, if I had a decent lot size going, I'd be cutting half right now, for sure. I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, 5 minute, no lower wick. And you could trail it above the 5 minute swing points, but kind of happy just to leave it. BJ just consolidating right now. GCAP potentially bringing support, but into a non-tradable level in my opinion. Very choppy to the left. I was not sure if it wants to drop or head back up to the resistance, so my current position on gold. Talking about 5.5 pip drawdown. Fair bit of volume too, popping about. Yeah, it's not looking good. Once again, if it was a bigger position, I would have probably cut the whole thing, to be honest, by now. Wouldn't be really liking it being stuck in this sort of drawdown, but once again, I'm just going to keep it going. If 15 closes bullish, once again, that's a good way to manage it. Cutting half. I'm giving you guys the options. The other option is just to keep it going, keep it open, maybe trial it above the 15. That's probably all I'll do now, just to manage it a little bit. Oof, this is nasty. Yeah, this is really nasty. Back in profit and back in 15 pip drawdown. God is tough. God is not playing games today. Definitely going to catch people out. Yeah, I'd probably just close the whole thing. I'm just going to close it, guys. I don't like it. 24 pips I think it was right now. That's a shit fight. That's a real shit fight. Yeah, looked good. Gave it a go. Had 5 pips on the table. Kept popping up, down, 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 up, up. That's the end. So not a great result. Been a tough week. Has not been a good week for me, but it is what it is. It's all part of it. GJ rejecting again. GCAD popping below to support, so that could come down. But again, I don't like the level it's at to bother. You back at the support. So gold, it's retesting the resistance again. Closes above. I'm not gonna trade again, guys. I'm done. I don't like the volatility. I don't think it's the best to be trading right now. You've got FOMC tomorrow. It's going to be difficult until then. Still got the volatility coming out of yesterday. This is all over the place, so I'm not going to bother. GJ at the moment is just heavy consolidation. Wait for it to come back down to support for either a buy option from the support or it sells below it. In between, it's very choppy, very difficult. All this is just a mess, in my opinion. So you need to wait for it to either come up to sort of resistance or reject support and bounce off it, sells below support, buys above the highs. That's it on GJ. GCAD, like I mentioned earlier, sells below support here, 179.14. Buys above the resistance, 179.70, and below it if it does reject. That's it. Yeah, tough one. Sorry, guys. Been a tough week. Been my worst week for quite some time. 2 losses and break even, I think, for the week. 2 break evens personally. 2 losses and 2 break evens. But it's all part of the game. It is what it is. Can't do much about it. Personally, I won't be trading tomorrow. Tomorrow is NFP. Not NFP, FOMC. I won't have the time to be on the charts personally tomorrow. The stream, I will not be on stream, guys. I'll be back way too late tomorrow. Unfortunately, with my brother being away, I have to pick up slack when it comes to the family stuff. So family business, I won't be home in time really for London session. But do trade safe. Don't forget, we have some high impact news to come with the Bank of England official rate to come later on today. That's in just under 4 hours from now. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I'm gonna get going. Yeah, gave it a go today. Is what it is. It could dump again, but I'm not going to chase it. And yeah, trade safe. Hit like button if you're not done so on the way out. Take care, guys. Members, I'll do some analysis for you guys later, and I will chat to you guys. Beats.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, mate. Cheers, mate. Take care. See you guys.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks, ciao.
See ya. Have a good one.
Ciao.
Chat to you. Bye.